Friends, a warm welcome from Aussie's group. Hope you all are doing well. We are back today with a PTE live session, and along with me I have Gaurang today. Hello Gaurang, how are you?
I'm fine, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for being here, Gaurang. It's a pleasure to have you always.
As always, it's a pleasure for me as well. It's been a long while.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long while. And Gaurang, our today's topic is from the speaking module.
Yes.
So can you just introduce the topic, please?
Well, today's speaking module is about one of the most important tasks in speaking, that is repeat sentence.
Yes.
Now, repeat sentence is not just a speaking task, it's actually another integrated task from the PTE test. It involves listening and speaking.
That's right.
In this task, first of all, you have to listen to an audio. A single sentence is
That's
spoken,
right. That's
and
right.
soon as that gets over, you have to repeat it word for word exactly as it was spoken.
That's right.
The idea is that you should emulate or exactly repeat in the same intonation, the same style as it was spoken.
That's very
That is what the
true.
idea is.
And Gaurang, may I ask you, why do you say that we need to, repeat it in the same style as it was spoken? Would you have any pieces of to suggest that it needs to be done?
See, my personal experience on this says that if you repeat it as it was spoken, you score better.
Yeah,
And then I recently came across an interesting article in The Guardian.
that's right.
That's a very well-known newspaper, in which a PTE coach, I would not take that person's name, he has 4 to 5 years of experience in PTE coaching,
All right.
and he has coached quite a few students who have scored perfect 90.
That's right.
He has mentioned that because the PTE speaking section is also assessed and scored by a computer,
Software, that's right.
and they use voice recognition technology.
That's right.
Now, voice recognition technology is currently based on what the computer understands.
That's right.
Right? So the computer usually understands higher intonations.
That's right.
It should sound lyrical or musical to a certain extent.
Right.
It should be fluent, continuous.
That's very true.
Right? So if you are repeating exactly what has been spoken, the computer will understand you better. The
Obviously.
intonations will come through better.
That's right.
The focus is not on grammar, it's on the intonation.
That's
that
right.
needs to be remembered.
That's right. And I'd also like to add that there are three main things which are important in this task, obviously. So first, as you very correctly said, is the fluency.
Yes.
It needs to be pretty fluent.
Yes.
Because we already have one component of oral fluency in the scorecard.
Absolutely.
The second thing which is important, which you again said, is intonation, and more broadly that would entail pronunciation.
Yes.
And the third thing is the actual sentence which you're speaking, which would deal with the content.
Yes.
Right?
These are the three parts. Also, what I would like to tell our viewers is that for repeat sentence, I've seen a lot of students doing this. If they are unsure of the sentence that was spoken, they mumble.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Never do that. Yes, that's right.
Rather, speak loudly, speak clearly.
Clearly, that's right.
Even if you're speaking a wrong sentence, speak loudly and clearly.
Yeah, just say it in one shot, right?
Yes.
Don't stop.
Speak continuously. Start and only stop when you reach the full stop.
Right.
Okay. Another important thing to remember here is that soon as they finish speaking, they must click next.
That's right. And I'd also like to say that whenever a new sentence starts, it starts in just 3 seconds, every new task after you click next. And once you hear the sentence, the audio recording doesn't start immediately. There's a gap of roughly 1 second.
Yes.
And many times people make a mistake that people just start speaking immediately before the recording starts. And mind you, friends, in this task, you won't hear any beep sound.
Yes.
And read aloud, that is the first task of speaking, there is a beep, and after that, the timer which records your audio or your input starts. In repeat sentence, there is no beep. So you'll have to see that manually, otherwise what you say before the timer starts won't be recorded.
Another important thing to remember, do not, if you are done with speaking the sentence, some people think that if I repeat it a second time, I'll get more marks. Don't do that. That actually reduces your marks.
Obviously.
You are required to speak it only once.
Yes, that's
Okay?
right.
So that is important.
So, yeah, please go on.
And in addition to that, please make sure that you are not stumbling over your words.
That's true.
Do not pause for anything more than 3 seconds.
Right.
Okay.
Otherwise, the
The audio recording stops.
mic stops recording.
And if you're not sure of the sentence, speak the sentence that comes to your mind,
Exactly.
but finish a complete sentence.
Complete sentence. Very important that you finish a sentence which you've started. Don't think much. Don't stop in between.
Exactly.
That's right. So now, if I could request our colleague Ankur. So last week we had posted 3 audio samples.
Yes.
So I'll ask Uncle to play them one by one. Uncle, if you please play them.
There's an hourly bus service from the campus into town.
There's an hourly bus service from the campus into town.
Yes, there's an hourly
Bus service from the campus into town.
That is 11 words.
Yes, that's actually 10 words.
Oh yeah, there's, because there is and there's.
Yes.
So that's 10 words.
Okay, so this must be repeated exactly as I spoke. That is the way to do it.
That's right.
Malcolm sir, if you would like to go for the second one.
Yeah, sure.
This is the third time you've asked for an extension on this project.
This is the third time you've asked for an extension on this project.
This is the third time you have asked for an extension on this project. That makes it 14 words,
Pretty
a pretty long sentence.
Lengthy sentence.
But it was a very simple
Very
way to
simple
look at it.
sentence. So yeah, now we have the third sentence.
They say Professor Jones's lectures are always interesting and funny.
They say Professor Jones's lectures are always interesting and funny.
9 words. That's 9 words.
That's 9 words. But the important thing to remember in this last sentence, it was actually a complicated sentence.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Professor Jones's,
yeah.
so Jones apostrophe S,
Jones's, yeah.
that is important. And before the last 2 words, there's a comma.
Yeah, there was a pause.
There was a pause.
Yeah, that's right.
That has to be followed.
Right.
It is really important.
The correct way of speaking would be with the right intonation, as you
Exactly.
said.
Exactly.
Right.
So Malcolm, this is how repeat sentence works. We have done just 3 live samples.
Yeah.
Right? But in the actual test, what is the number of questions that they can expect?
You get many questions. You get almost 10 to 13 questions back to back, and it's pretty quick. There's not much time to think and process the sentences. So Gaurang, and how should we go about? What are the techniques in this task?
Because it is involving listening and speaking.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
What I have learned from my interactions with students who are given the test is that in the actual test center, people around you will be speaking with quite a high volume.
That's right.
My recommendation is always speak loud enough to be heard by the computer, to be clear, but not so loud as to disturb the people around you.
That's true. So basically just focus on your test and get done with it.
Yes. Another trick that I have found, I should not describe it as a trick, rather a system that I have found that helps you is to put your hand behind the microphone.
Right.
If the microphone is there, make sure the microphone is not in front of your mouth exactly.
Right.
Keep it slightly above so that your breath does not hit the microphone, or keep it below your chin so that it is sufficiently away again to be out of the exhaust from your mouth as well as your nose.
Yeah.
That will not create any disturbance.
That's right.
And to amplify your voice, put your hand behind the microphone and speak into your hand. What that will do is, it will bounce back and it will amplify your voice.
That's right.
That way you don't need to speak loudly.
That's right.
You can speak at a normal tone, but still the recording will be loud and clear.
Precise, that's right. And also, I mean, in this task, it's very easy to make mistakes. So what should be the correct way of either memorizing the sentence or, remembering the sentence so they get a high score in the content component?
Well, first thing is the total number of words, as we already said. Try and keep track of that.
That's right.
Second, what I always advise students is try and remember the first 5 words. They are the most important ones.
That's right.
You remember the first 5 words. Thereafter, whatever other words you can remember, club them together into a coherent
sentence
and complete sentence.
That's right. That's right.
If we analyze any sentence in English, I would say about 60% of the sentence is composed of articles and everyday usage words like the, and, in,
Prepositions,
of, prepositions. Okay? So if we can just club them together, adding these prepositions and articles, you will get a complete sentence.
Right. And many times I've seen that people do struggle a bit with memorization part because there's also a lot of disturbance in the actual test. So is it advisable that they can also take quick notes in this task, or what do you think? Is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, it depends on the person's ability, I would say. Taking notes is always a good idea, but a lot of people lose track of listening when they are trying to take notes.
That's right, because we are doing so many things in such a short span of time. In just like 3 or 4 seconds, you're listening, you're noting, you're speaking, and then you're clicking next again.
Exactly.
So it depends, right?
It depends. It depends on person to person. So that's not always easy.
But so it can be a good idea provided you do a lot of practice with that method.
Okay, one good way of practicing is that you should listen to first maybe something similar, single sentence audios.
Right.
Or if that is not possible, then pick up one of the best ones that I have found is TED Talks.
TED Talks.
They have got so many different kinds of speakers, so many different accents,
Topics and very
topics and everything.
That's right.
Listen to them. TED Talks, short talks, and then just try to repeat them.
That's absolutely right. It's a very good solution actually.
And most of the TED Talks have transcripts available.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can even assess your own
One
progress.
score. That's true. That's true. Very true.
But I think that is just about it that we can help or we can share about repeat sentence at the moment.
Yeah, but I'd also like to just add one quick point that since it's so easy to make a mistake in this task, it happens at times that you make back-to-back mistakes because it's so easy.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when generally people make mistake, the confidence falls down.
Right.
And that affects the remaining modules of describe image, maybe retell lecture, or answer short questions.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is, don't let your confidence go down, even if you're making one or two mistakes. It's very important to fight it out till the last question of speaking, and you never know, you may end up with a 90 full score.
Yes,
90.
and even if you make a mistake, don't go back to correct yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. That's
right? If you speak a word wrong, just continue speaking as if you're not made a mistake.
As if nothing has happened. Yeah.
Finish the sentence.
That's right. That's right. You never know, you may get a 90.
Exactly. and I do know of cases where students have stumbled over a word or two, but they did not allow it to affect their speaking.
Yeah.
They have scored 90.
Right. So basically, keep yourself highly motivated till the last question of speaking. You never know what your score might turn out to be.
Yes,
That's
it's
true.
totally unpredictable, at least from our end.
That's
right?
right.
The computer knows best.
That's true. Well, Garang, I think we've covered everything which was to be covered in repeat sentence.
Yes.
And so what is the next task which we are going to take up now?
Well, ideally it would be something from writing, but we already covered both the tasks in writing. So we are going to go into reading.
That's right.
And in reading, we are going to cover a very important task, that is the drag and drop fill in the blanks.
Yes, the reading fill in the blanks, as they are called.
Yes.
So in that task, typically you'll have a small passage. In the small passage, you'll have few gaps or missing words. And generally, it's between 3 to 6 words in a passage.
Yes.
And just below the passage, you will generally have double the number of options.
Yes.
That is, if you have, let's say, 5 blanks, you'll have 9 to 10 options. If you have 4 blanks, you'll have 7 to 8 options. So in very simple words, PT wants to confuse you with 2 options per blank.
And a lot of those options will be synonyms.
Very similar options. So basically, to get a good score in blanks, you need to be good in reading, obviously, and need a lot of practice as well.
Yes, and you should have a very strong vocabulary.
Vocabulary, that's absolutely right. So yes, friends, that is what we'll be covering in the next session. That is called reading fill in the blanks or drag and drop fill in the blanks.
Yes, the question will be up by tomorrow late afternoon.
Definitely.
And we will be expecting your answers.
Definitely. And Gaurang, I'll also like to share with our viewers that just today we've got one more score which we've posted. So the name of the student is Nilesh. So it was Nilesh's first attempt at PTE, and by God's grace, he has got a full score of 90 out of 90. And to add to this, he has got a perfect 90 in all the 4 modules: speaking, writing, reading, and listening.
That is fantastic news for us here at Aussie's PTE Coaching, because one more of our students
has got a 90.
Yes, that shows the quality that we are having in terms of our students.
Definitely.
And the help that we are able to give them.
Definitely. So friends, don't think of much if you're looking for help in PTE. You know the name you need to trust, and that is only one name, which is Aussie's Crew. And to assist you with that, we also have this fantastic product called PTEtutorials.com. It's your one-stop solution for all your PTE needs. You have so many mock tests with sample questions, answers, and they can also be evaluated. You just need to pay a fraction of money, which you might spend on many other expensive things. And for that money, you will also get a score test, which will tell you exactly where you stand and how you need to improve. So it's a very good option which you can look forward to.
It is a fantastic platform.
Definitely.
I do have students who come and tell me that, sir, the tests on there have helped us get our scores.
That's true. Like just a few days back, we had a student called Adit. So Adit is in Melbourne. He had no idea of PTE, and in his first attempt, he got 79+. He just took 4 tests, or I believe just 2 tests from PTEtutorials.com, And that was it. It gave him a lot of confidence, and the scoring which he got after the test also told him that, yeah, this is where he needs to improve, this is where he's pretty good at. So basically, it's a very holistic view of where you stand as per the actual test evaluation standards.
Exactly. So go ahead, sign up for www.ptetutorials.com and get your PTE preparation started.
Definitely.
Malcolm, do we have a masterclass coming up?
Yes, very good question, Dorang. Yes, friends, we have the masterclass coming up this Saturday. That is the 14th of October. I will be taking the masterclass at a Melbourne office. The address is level 2, 290 Collins Street, and it's in Melbourne, obviously, as I said. So the class will start sharp at 11 a.m. and will go up till 5 or 5:30 in the evening. And I'll be covering all the 20 tasks of PTE with the correct techniques and the relevant examples as well, which will make it very easy for you to understand. And you believe me, you just need to follow these in your actual test, and very high chance that you'll get your desired score in the first attempt after you take the masterclass with me.
Yes,
Definitely.
we have been generating some amazing results with the masterclass.
Definitely.
Right? We have had a lot of students who have scored 79 plus with just one masterclass.
Class. Right.
That is just unbelievable.
And very aptly, that is why the fees for this class is as well $79 if you make a cash payment. Right, friends? So what are you waiting for? Don't wait. Book your slot now. You can call on the number which we'll post in the link. And you can also walk in here on Saturday for your registration, right? It'll start at 11 a.m. in the morning. It'll go up till 5 in the evening.
Well, Malcolm, I think that covers almost everything for today's live session.
Definitely.
We will be back with our live session next Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Right.
Until then, keep preparing for your PTE and keep visiting www.ptetutorials.com. All the best.
Thank you so much for viewing the video, friends. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.